guys, and welcome back to another episode of Nomifactory. How have y'all been? And as you saw in the intro where we crafted up a muffler, input and output hatch, we used these to create our brand new multi-smelter, which is lying right next to our new wall of mechanical crafters, which we're now using to create gas tiers instead of our DML. And if you didn't notice, since last episode, we had a stream. And what did we do in said stream? Well, we built this area, which is going to house our EBFs and vacuum freezers. So anyway, what are we gonna do today? Well, here I have our little to-do list that I kind of want to get going. But the two we're gonna be focusing on are titanium and rocket fuel. Now, titanium is our gates towards the EV age, which if we look through recipes, you can see it is used for motors and the like. But how do we get to this mysterious ingot? Well, of course, it's a blast furnace recipe, but the input is not titanium dust, as one would expect. We need to make titanium tetrachloride, which is in an HV chemical reactor with some chlorine, some carbon, and of course, rutile, which is something we have not used yet in this playthrough. But thankfully, I thought ahead. So let's start cooking. So we're going to need an HV chemical reactor, 2 HV electrolyzers, and of course, as with all things, our energy converter. And with our system built, all that's left is to hook it up to AE. So first of all, what's going to happen is we're going to place our interface right there. We're going to get some ME conduit from this fluid interface to connect it. And this is how we will supply rutile to our setup. Because if we get our conveyor over here and slap it on the side of the machine and apply an item filter to it, it'll show us that we need a robot arm, not a conveyor. Alright, robot arm obtained. We can slap that on, screwdriver, keep exact, and set rutile to 8 and import. Now of course we're also going to need some carbon, which I forgot to get some chlorine from our AE2 system over here. Let's get our chlorine. Let's get our carbon, which should be in our... There's our carbon, which we can place in our chemical reactor. And we can head over to our EBF area to pick up our rutile. And we can just feed this rutile through a hopper. Actually, I guess I'll dump it in here. Might as well. It should go in our drives. And the chemical reaction has started. Now, this is going to give us carbon monoxide and tetrachloride. The tetrachloride we're going to immediately send down through fluid conduits and connect it over there, which should send our tetrachloride to our EBF. Yep, there it is. So with that, let's get some of this magnesium and put it in the EBF, and there's our titanium cooking. And here the EBF just finished, and with the system I have of a high priority storage bus with titanium, it'll send it over, and there's our first piece of titanium. But I don't think we even picked up the fluid, so yeah, it wants us to get a bucket of it, and then the ingot, and then actually holds the thing. But we're going to need some more chlorine from our AE system, so after picking some up, we can take it over to our system and restart the chain to get more titanium. And I just realized we don't actually need this ender tank, so I'm going to move you down. So what I can do is if I go up here with a fluid filter, we can place it down and filter out our carbon monoxide. And using a fluid pipe and enabling fluid output, we can send it to our electrolyzer. Now oxygen, we don't need it, so I'm going to put this fluid voiding cover, go to side, hit it with soft mallet, and oxygen is now being voided automatically. It's carbon, and simply route an item conduit back into a chemical reactor, and that's carbon recycling done. Now another byproduct of titanium is magnesium chloride dust, which we get as a secondary output. So what we're going to do is over here at our interface is we're going to request the magnesium chloride and route it to this other thing. And actually I'm going to need some filters. Yeah, so you shouldn't connect for items, period. You will connect for conduits, however. And filter, whitelist, chloride, extract brown. That'll start recycling all the chlorine we have, as well as the magnesium dust. And this magnesium dust we can actually just send straight back into our ME system, and back at our EPF area we can request the magnesium from our interface. And there we go, that's our titanium loop. It's fully self-contained and our only input is rutile. And after some facading, our titanium now looks a lot cleaner. And let's pick up some quests while we're waiting for it to smelt. And with our titanium finally done cooking, here we have a stack. I think we need to get a little spicy, a little bit more adventurous, and take a break from all these machines. And how are we gonna do that? Going to the moon. But Mayo, how are we gonna get to the moon when we're here stuck on Earth, or technically the overworld? Well, we're gonna need that funny little fluid I mentioned earlier, rocket fuel, which is its own whole step of stuff, but one step at a time, we got this. So first of all, we're going to need around 6 chemical reactors, as well as the distillation tower, a brand new multi-block which we haven't built before, alongside a pyrolyse oven which we're actually just going to recycle. And approximately this many clean stainless steel machine casings. Now this isn't the complete list of materials, but we should probably start building it. And what better place to build it than our passive area? So first of all, the first step is obviously going to be our pyrolyse oven, as that's what's going to be producing our wood vinegar. And then this wood vinegar is what we're going to throw through our distillation tower, mainly to get methanol, then we get some extra goodies like standard ethanol, acetic acid, and acetone. So there's our pyrolyse oven finally built, so that's step 1. All we need to do is give it some maintenance, and now that it's receiving power, we should be able to come here on the side. We can flat interface U. Let's get some nitrogen. Let's input bus some rubber logs. And now we just need a circuit inside there. We added in our inventory. It's going to be circuit number 8. That. And we're going to be getting charcoal out of this, which we can just drawer. Yeah, we can just do this. Get a cable underground. And now that we connected, you can see that it is now running. Now it is a relatively slow recipe at 20 seconds, but we should get around 3,000 wood vinegar. Yep, we get 3,000, and we only need 1,000 for our distillation tower. Speaking of which, our casings should be done. Aimless, they are indeed, and I didn't make these yet, but we're going to need some output buses. We're going to need 6 output buses, 1 input hatch, or well, hatch, yeah. And I'm not sure if this has an item output. It does not. And we're also going to need another maintenance hatch, which should be simple as doing that. Let's go plug it in. Then there's a quest as well. And there's our distillation tower fully formed with all 6 outputs done. Let us get our tools again, maintenance, and well, now we just need to route power to it. And there's our fully powered thing. Now all we can do is, well, I don't think I have enough pipe to get it here, so I'll conduit for now. We can do a little bit of this. And since it automatically exports, you know, it kind of does its own thing magically. And it's only a 2-second recipe, but now comes the fun part. So this one is always going to be water. We don't need water. We can make it infinitely, so we're going to fluid trash can it. These all other ones, though, are quite useful. So what we're going to do is just super tank all of them. And also run a giant AE connection all the way up the back, since we need to have actual Fluix cable in order to use storage buses. Alright, and there we go, we're getting everything. And so that's part 1 and 2 done. Now we just need to set up the rest of the stuff, which is mainly these chemical reactors and the mixer. Now I'm going to use these as placeholders so that we can kind of orient ourselves. And we're going to use a stainless steel drum to buffer our rocket fuel, which is going to go around like right here. No, let's have it like in the middle. So it's mixer there. That'll output. And let me figure out a good way to not make this look bad. Alright, after some digging around and miscalculations, turns out we were missing 2 whole chemical reactors, but now it's just a matter of connecting them and letting the filtering commence. And after crafting up our 1,000,001 and first fluid interface, we can start filtering. But first, let's get our little conduit line. So first, ammonia, which is going to be a mix of nitrogen and hydrogen. For hypochlorous acid, we're going to need some chlorine. If I first put in the filter, I need some chlorine, and we're going to need some water. Dimethylene is going to be, put our filter, to be methanol and ammonia. And monochloramine is going to be our hypochlorous and ammonia as well. Now our dimethylhydrazine, if that's even how you pronounce it, is going to be with our dimethylene and whatever other fancy fluid we make. I think monochloramine. And then we just sense that 1-to-1 dimethyl whatever. There we go. We sense this, and we finish it off with some simple oxygen, and that creates our rocket fuel. Let's get AE hooked up to this. So we're going to need oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, nitrogen, methanol. Right, and with that, it should be simple as pressing insert on all of these and watching it go ham. I think this needs a circuit. Circuit 1. Circuit 1. Hydrogen, nitrogen, no? Don't tell me it's HV. Oof. So I did miscalculate another thing. So bear back with an HV one. Right, HV chemical reactor obtained. Let us get you out of the way. Gonna need some power right here. I can route it in a sec. Get some gold cable just because it's cheap. We put these two back in and enable flow. Run some energy conduit to it. Put the circuit back in. And there we go. 16 seconds. That's a bit rough. Though we'll make do. For now, we're also going to need some water, which I'll just provide on site, I guess. We can extract that. And I think we're gonna need some more circuits. Alright, some more circuits have been obtained. Let's extract on brown as well. So ammonia should go places. Let's round robin it. Now methanol and ammonia is circuits 2. So let's put you here in the circuit slot. Hypochlorous is, I think, circuit 1. And then this hypochlorous and ammonia is, what did you guess it? Also circuit 1. And now we just need a way to store this diluted hydrochloric. Yeah, and this is slow at a 48-second recipe. But with this hydrochloric, what we're going to do is we're going to get a stainless steel drum. We're going to place it right here. Conduit and filter the diluted hydrochloric. Insert brown. You're going there. And we're going to create a loop for a second, but let's get you out. Filter water. Okay, that's actually probably a bad idea, because that means I'm just infinitely voiding water from that. Which is the one that gives us water? This one. Let's actually insert on blue, because these two products only go here, and monochloramine gives us water, and dimethylene also gives us water. Oh, okay. So insert blue, and there we go. We should be getting rocket fuel once I actually enable fluid output. Well, we need a bucket of this. Did I get it? No. Okay, what did I miss? Should be into Mitchell microverse. Oh, I'm missing everything apparently. So let's get a bucket of hypochlorous. Need a bucket of ammonia. We could do some shenaniganery. Place that there. Bucket. Then we need the chloramine and the dimethylene. Oh, that's easy. Oh, there's dimethylene and monochloramine. Yes, no, oh. They're just check marks. Just want us to grab the dimethyl whatever. So let's disable our mixer right here. And this is giving us regular hydrochloric as a byproduct. So we're going to extract on brown, yeah. We're going to use our final fluid filter. We're going to filter it for hydrochloric. And we're going to insert brown. And that should take all extra byproduct hydrochloric into our fluid drive network. But yeah, this recipe should be done. And now if we just pick up this, should get the quest. And before we enable it, yeah, now we get it. Alright, so we can just re-enable this. And now we're getting rocket fuel passively. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this diluted hydrochloric, because kind of having it just here isn't useful. And that's the build readied up. I'm still missing some facades, though those are in the painting machine. But yeah, with that, that concludes our little detour into rocket fuel. But now that we have a rocket fuel, what's rocket fuel without a rocket? But as you can see, nothing is unlocked because it's gated behind extended crafting. And I haven't done any of that. And our main catalyst seems to be phosphoric acid, which we use for luminescence. So let's get that set up real quick. That's our general phosphoric acid. Then we're going to need an interface, which I do not have. No issue. We can just craft it. And with our interfaces crafted, we can simply place it down here. Now it's not going to be connected to our thing yet, but we're going to input some phosphorus. Let's get some item conduit. Gonna get some phosphorus. And then using said phosphorus with some oxygen, we're going to chemical react it with just water. So what's actually going to happen is we're going to need one more fluid filter. Let's do that, and we can just extend our fluid conduit line here. So here we can filter you for simply oxygen. That's plasma. And here we can filter you for just water. So insert brown, and connect the lines up. Now you should start getting oxygen, you should get water, and what we're going to do actually is something quite tricky, or quite nifty. We're going to get a drawer, we're going to connect it, however, we're going to downgrade it, lock it to these three things, and then using a robot arm, we're going to pull them from the drawer instead of having to use a limited item filter. We can import, keep exact, get our item filter, throw that in, get our stack of each, and click that into the individual slots. And now if we place it out here, it'll just keep pulling in while it has, its things. Actually, we're going to need an extra drawer here for our luminescence. And then here we can just fluid output, and here we can just item output to the left. And here we just insert on brown, and all we have to do is connect up our interface. The connect power, which I actually had to upgrade between scenes. Kind of running all of this was not being very bueno. Right, but yeah, let's get our redstone, our glowstone, and our aluminium dust. Right, I forgot to item filter this. You're supposed to be for phosphorus dust. So let's get this redstone out of you. And then here we don't want it connecting, and we'll simply put it there. Alright, and now we just need to go grab some of our phosphorus. I think I had some electrolyzing over here. Dang, barely. Alright, I got rid of the fluid trash can over here. It'll be fine. Well, is this amount of phosphate enough? Oh, it's actually more than enough. And we can start up the reaction. Thought not. 1. Yep, and then that automatically reacts. And there's our luminescence. Though, I do kind of want the quests to count, so let me kind of just do some things, aka go back to manually feed this thing. I don't have a bucket, but it's acidic. Does Enterio food tanks count? Seems to be good enough for the quests. Right, well anyway, with our luminescence, good to go. We can now get into extended crafting. So for advanced components, we're going to need electrum, black steel, and luminescence. And we're going to need 1 catalyst, which is just 4 of these plus some other stuff. Let me go craft these up. And there's our extended crafting table. Advanced components, advanced catalyst, and finally our advanced extended crafting table. And luminescence, we are at 36. So it didn't actually take that much, but with us crafting that, it opens up our launch pad and rocket assembly. Oh lord. That is quite the amount of things. Sure, question mark. Yeah, this is quite the amount of stuff we have left to craft, but I think we can save that for tomorrow. Or the next video, I should say. But yeah, that'll be it all for today's episode. I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.